Hello everyone and welcome back to another Final Fantasy video. My name is Brian if you happen to be new to the channel, but if you're part of this ever-growing and impressive number of 74,834, thank you. And thank you so much for coming back and checking out today's video. And if you're part of the 80% of y'all who haven't yet to subscribe, I hope you enjoy what we're going to talk about here today. Now, this video is in response to the Delivery Moogle who writes and asks this question. Since Microsoft has made a deal with Square-Enix, do you think that it might be possible that Microsoft is hinting at buying or acquiring Square-Enix? Do you believe that Square-Enix will stay independent? And so I'm going to explore with you guys what I've researched, what we know to be true, what we know to be actually happening, what ultimately will be a very interesting look at the landscape in total, but that's what this video will explore. And as always, you're welcome to weigh in with your own thoughts. I always love reading the comments of what you guys think, especially around these topics, because acquisitions is no shortage of a spicy topic. There is this weird feeling in the air just at the moment where you have these monoliths, Microsoft, Tencent, Sony to a degree, where they're in this acquisition kind of approach. And we've seen and even heard rumors today that Google was talking about acquiring Activision Blizzard before Microsoft swooped in and got the deal. And that ended up forcing out Google from the playing field. So Microsoft in one move, even just with the announcement of the Activision Blizzard deal, has turned off, shuttered down an entire platform in Google Stadia. Now, whether you believe cloud is the future or not, or just an additive approach, that is something probably another topic for another day. Let me know if you'd like me to get into that detail with you guys, but focusing what Delivery Moogle asks first and foremost. I do think it's possible. I do think there is always a possibility because Microsoft, I think, needs Japan more than Japan needs Microsoft. But Microsoft's also been budding up with the likes of Sega, with new and an ever evolving relationship where that just continues to get tighter and tighter. And that actually really kicked off back originally with the Dreamcast. Microsoft was the operating system behind the Dreamcast, and so I think that's one of the things that kind of helped fuel the Xbox to actually become a product on the market. But that history lesson aside, yes, I do think it's possible. I think they could always be signaling these things. Today, we even saw Capcom come out and say, you know, if we did get an offer from Microsoft, we would just reject it. But that's also a part of their job. So I don't truly trust it because numbers and money has the ability to move a lot of mountains in here. We'll see the pushback from people in the comment section that's saying you can't buy a Japanese studio. And that's only partially true. After 10%, because the video game industry itself is classified as a special industry for Japan, after 10%, you have to have Japanese approval. So beyond acquisition, honestly, I don't think acquisition's the best play for Microsoft in this case. I think what you want to see is partnership. Microsoft has a lot to offer when it comes to cloud services. And when you think of Microsoft Azure, their cloud gaming network, it is something that they are actively trying to grow and actually compete with Amazon Game Studios. And whether you think Amazon is a good, gaming company or not, we've seen time and time again their ability to scale, especially in the world of online multiplayer MMORPGs. It is something to sit here and either be impressed by or terrified of, depending on your perspective in this case. But focusing in on Microsoft themselves, they do have a closer relationship to Square-Enix than somebody like Amazon. But the closest relationship that I could honestly see making the most sense, and one that wouldn't want to get away, would be Sony. I think when it comes down to it, I would say keep Square-Enix independent. But if you're Microsoft, open up your wallet and come up with some marketing deals. There is a long road to develop the RPG and that kind of mindset for the Xbox platform. When people think Xbox, they don't necessarily immediately go to Final Fantasy. And it shows. Took Final Fantasy 14 10 years, and we're going to see that game finally step onto the Xbox platform here in just a couple of weeks in its beta format, and then later in 2024 for its quote-unquote full release. It's taken them a long time. So when people think of Xbox, they don't necessarily think of Final Fantasy, so it becomes an afterthought. Marketing deals change that. Spending the money so that you don't have your games delayed on your platform changes that. And I think that changes it for cheaper than it would be to acquire it, but also in terms of just the cost of actually going out and making that acquisition happen. We've seen obviously with the with Activision Blizzard just the overall cost there, but that's a bigger deal. You wouldn't be offering $69 billion for Square-Enix. They don't have that market value, but they still have a ton of value. And ideally, what I would recommend if I was running and leading the Microsoft charge is I'd look at some of these IPs that have yet to be touched and invest in Square-Enix so that they then go and pursue that, partner up with them on making a Final Fantasy Tactics remake or a sequel, and look at some of these really beloved IPs and try to find a way to bring them to more people. And Game Pass ends up being the delivery mechanism that really takes a lot of the barrier out of trying out these specific games. However, you never know, right? Like at the end of the day, Microsoft does have the money. They are hungry. Game Pass, as much as it can have value to you and me, especially me as a parent with a lot of children, it does require a lot of content to maintain it. And the only way you can get that content to maintain it is to make deals, to partner, to acquire. And Microsoft is and has said multiple times, this is not, Activision Blizzard isn't their end game. That's just an accelerant to their bigger plans ahead. However, anything could change. And one way or the other, I'll be sure to weigh in on it. I do thank you, Delivery Moogle, for asking this incredible question. Sorry it took me so long to actually get to this as a specific topic. Life has been busy, but life is good. And it's just a lot of fun. We did a water balloon fight with the kids last night in the backyard. And yeah, that's something that is just like when you think about it, when you think about gaming and all of these things, one of the things that I hope that you hear in my voice, and it will frustrate some people, frustrated because I do have different opinions than maybe the mainstream in this case. But what you do hopefully do here is that I'm not really too shaken up or worried by if Microsoft would to buy Square Enix or Nintendo or somebody. It's just change for change's sake. Things are changing. And I think if I was going to give you any bit of value, whether Microsoft does it, Sony does it, or whatever happens, just be prepared that the next 10 years are really going to be a lot different. And the industry and what this hobby that we love is, it's going to go under a new turn. Like there is, I feel easily and with obviously 10 years is a long time, but with a high degree of confidence that over the course, by the time 2033 is around, the industry in and of itself is going to look radically different. And if I'm wrong, hey, we'll come back and I'll see you in 10 years and we'll talk about this prediction that we had here anyway. All right, guys. I'm just going to send you all on your way. No class dismissed today. I did have a question about, hey, you're still doing class dismiss? I posted up a class dismiss video over on Twitter, actually, as an exclusive. If you want to go follow me over there. And as you guys ask questions and get into these topics, that's what fuels the class dismiss section of these videos. So sound off. There's still plenty of news and more that I'm way behind on to get covered for you guys. But anyway, thanks so much for being here. If you like the video, hit that like button. It's a great way of helping out. Comment below and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for being here, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. But until then, take care.